interesting experience, not gonna lie. So why did I decide to join a football tournament when I haven't played in 20 years? Well, it goes back to the very first video on this channel, this one right here. I discuss a concept called neuroplasticity, and why that's relevant here is that by forcing yourself to do new things, you can actually create new neural pathways in your brain. And over time, you can improve your focus, your decision making. It's just a really cool concept in general. And I made a commitment from then to regularly try new things, to test this out basically. I'm not really interested in football. Like I said, I've not played in 20 years. I don't really watch it anymore either. I've only watched one game this year, which was the Champions League final. So this really was a shock to the system. So let me explain what this event was. It was a five-a-side tournament, 5 players, 3 substitutions. And it starts out as a league where you play each other, there's point systems, and then that leads to knockouts and elimination rounds later. Now here's the thing, because this was a charity event, I assumed that it would be laid back, like not very competitive, just a bit of fun. I couldn't be more wrong. There were some of the most try-hard teams that showed up to this tournament. Ones that came in full matching kits and they were actual teams. Like they do Sunday League, or I'm not sure what the level of competition is, but they were actual teams. And apparently 5-a-side is its own game structure and it's got its own rules, which I was struggling with throughout the day as well, despite a referee explaining it all at the beginning. I was doing weird things like tracking my runs for offside when there's no offside in this game. We learned later in the day also that 5 to 10 extra teams should have joined that day, but they got hit with a flu. Now these guys would have been more on the chill side like we were, like not actual established teams and not so competitive. So we showed up to a tournament with these teams who were really on it and we got battered, I'm not going to lie. Like some of these scorelines ran into double digits and it could... I'm not trying to disrespect those teams for trying hard. Like you enter a competition, you play to win. That's as simple, that's fine, that's fair enough. But it was just funny, the level of competition where these guys were just on a different level. It's clear that they grind out this 5-a-side football game all the time. And here's my team where we haven't played football in years. I've not played in 20 years and the guys that I was playing with also don't play regularly. So yeah, we lost every single game. Apart from one, but I'll talk about that one a bit later. So what did I learn about myself? Because I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this was a learning experience. It was me forcing myself to try something new that I don't regularly do. Well, first of all, I got to feel how heavy I actually am. I knew I was anyway, like I've been saying I need to shed pounds and whatever, but this really exposed how heavy I am and how bad my mobility is. In my head, while I was playing, I felt like I was doing amazing, like I was making all these runs and my movement was good, my tracking was good. I watch it back, it looks like I'm running in slow motion. It's the funniest thing. I'll play it as I'm saying this. And the thing is, right, this doesn't get exposed if all you do is go to the gym and lift weights. So I always knew I was too heavy, too bulky, but then it's also like, well, I've got a ridiculously high bench and like I'm really strong on all these lifts, so it's like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Until you have to run around for more than 10 minutes, then you get exposed for like how it's not fine, and then like mobility is a real thing. Cardio is a real thing. So yeah, it was another good reminder to stay on track with my weight loss plan. And also work on my mobility as well, because there were guys who were on the heavier side there. But because they'd been practicing, because they do this regularly, like they were moving fine, like they were active for the entire day. So it's not just a case of just being a bit fat or not, like mobility is something else that can be worked on as well. So let me tell you about the match that we did win. So we all show up to this game and it's against one of the better teams as well, out of the collection of already good teams. And only one dude shows up, like one kid who was like added on to their team. He shows up, the rest are no-shows. And then after 3 minutes, the ref just calls it and is like, this is a forfeit because they didn't show up to the game. So we automatically won like 3 or 5-0 or something like that. So there's a lesson in that in itself, which is just show up, guys. If you show up, you can take wins. It's literally, like that was our only win of the day and it was against probably the best team there. And they didn't show up, they just tapped out halfway through the competition. The reason those guys didn't show up is because when we got into the venue, they were already there. Like they'd done 2 hours of drills. They weren't part of this event, but they got roped into it as they were leaving. So halfway through this competition, they just tap out because it's just too much, because they're just exhausted by that point and they need to go home. So we just take a win based on the fact they don't show up. And then what's more is that because we were supposed to have teams of 5 with 3 substitutes, we only just managed to scrape a team of 5, so we had no substitutes. So that one player that did actually show up for them then joins our team. And our team gets better because this kid actually plays football, like he's good at the game. And the last thing I'll say on this learning section is that if you enter a competition, expect competitive people. Because when I showed up, I thought, oh, it's a charity game. It's like no one really cares. They're just going to play, whatever. But no, they joined a competition. People joined to win, and they really wanted to win. So never have this idea of you enter a competition, but it's weird to try, or just expecting people to take it passively. No, if people have joined a competition, there's going to be competitive people there. So just be aware of that. You might think it's just a joke, but other people won't. And if you've joined the competition, they're in the right, essentially. Like, you're the one who's doing the weird thing, if that makes sense. Maybe not to the point where you're scrapping at a charity match, though. That was weird, but that just shows how competitive they were. So yeah, this was a good experience. It was a lot of fun. And I'm still keeping to my commitment of trying new things regularly. So if you've watched this far, maybe write in the comments what I should try next. Nothing too crazy though, because there's a chance that I'll do it. That's probably enough football for me for the next 10 years maybe, but we'll see. Take care, guys. See you in the next one.
Yes!